It's Vlogmas!
Oh, honey. Hi.
Once in Royal David City stood a lowly cattle shed where a mother laid her baby in a manger for his bed. Mary was that mother mine, Jesus Christ, her little child. And Mary was that mother mine,
Are you hungry?
Jesus Christ,
Are you ready for your breakfast?
little child.
Are you? Huh? Are you ready for it?
With the poor and mean and lowly lived on earth, our Savior holy. With the poor and mean and lowly lived on earth, our Savior holy. And he cares when we are sad, and he shares when we are glad, and he cares when we are sad, and he shares when we are glad.
Good morning! Day 17! It's snowing. It's so beautiful out though. Actually, it looks really, really cold. It's around, I looked at the temperature when I got up, it's around 20 degrees. It's very windy though, so I think it's probably also, there's probably a bit of a wind chill. So yeah, it snowed all night. It started late. I showed you clips yesterday if you tuned in. And it's supposed to taper off this afternoon by like 1 or so at the latest. I'm actually surprised it's snowing as hard as it is right now. Yeah, so that's exciting. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Well, I have plenty to do. But yeah. So this is my last day of work. Like working my... Oh, so I had a viewer ask me a really good question. Like, how are you off if you're also teaching? So the teaching that we do over winter is considered extra work. So it's work we get paid for above and beyond our regular job. So I don't have to do my regular job. All I have to do is monitor the class. The class is completely asynchronous, which if you have college students or if you have like, you know, if there are college students in your life or you are a college student, this is what the college students are complaining about, that they feel like they are teaching themselves because like the way the course is structured, not to get too into the weeds, it's set up so in units so that the students can watch a pre-recorded lecture and then do an assignment and then, progress through the class. So it's set up that way. So it can feel like they're teaching themselves, but they're not just reading willy-nilly. Like, it's very programmed for them. Like, I've curated a set of readings for them and all of that. And I'm also responding to them with questions, and we do one-on-ones if they need it and stuff like that. So I have a very small class. I'm super excited about it. I haven't had a class that's less than 25 people in years. So I am teaching, but that'll be easy. I have one assignment due tomorrow night, which will take me like 10 minutes to grade. And then I have another assignment that's due sometime right before Christmas. And then there's a couple other assignments after New Year's, so it won't be a big deal. So that's that. This might be a long intro. So, wait till you see. I have made such great progress on my granddaughter's stocking. I put her name in on top. I showed you this yesterday. Her name is Juliana, but we call her Julie for short. So that's all that would fit across the top. So this is also before I tell you about the pattern, let me just show you how much. So look, I just have the foot left. God, I love bulky yarn. It's so good for fast knits. So you're not seeing the color all that well right now. It is a very soft rose pink. It's from Loopy Mango. I bought it from the Knitting Room. They were having a little sale, so I bought it there. And the green is Nutmeg Fibers. I got a mini set from them. You guys better pay attention because I won't be showing this on my regular episode. This will be gone. This is leaving this weekend. It's got to get to her in time for Christmas. So I used one of the greens from Nutmeg Fiber. It's like a chunky weight. It's a little bit, this is technically a worsted weight, the pink. So the pattern is one of my own. It's the first pattern I ever wrote. I'd always been writing. It's the first pattern I wrote and published, let's put it that way. I'd been writing patterns for myself, doing pattern hacks and stuff like that over the last, probably since I started knitting, like when I was 18 years old. So I published it. I published this stocking pattern, and then I learned a whole lot more about pattern writing over the course of doing other patterns. And I learned, so it's called Christmas Stockings 2, number 2. I have a Christmas Stockings number 1, which is more simple. Like, it doesn't have the pattern is, the body of this stocking is the same, but it doesn't have the color work. It has stripes, like different ways to do stripes. So I was kind of nervous to revisit the pattern and knit it myself, even though I made like 20 of these. I hadn't made them since I published the pattern, so I wasn't positive it was going to be okay. But I'm happy to report it reads just fine. The only thing I can say about it is the only thing I would change if I was going to do it now is I would write it for a circular needle or magic loop. I wrote it for DPNs, and so there was a little bit of like where you're doing. If you're a sock knitter, this is a piece of cake, but for non-sock knitters, new or people who have never knit a sock before, doing this part right here, the heel flap and then the gusset and all of that, it's very much like a sock. I didn't know that because I never knit socks before I wrote the pattern. But I did okay. It actually works out. Anyway, this part where you do the decreases was written for DPNs, and I was using a circular. So I just ended up putting in markers where it said, when you get to the end of this needle, I just put a stitch marker in, and then when you get to the end of this needle, do this. So it was fine. So that would be the only thing I would rewrite, but I'm not going to rewrite it because it reads fine. It's really great. And so the pattern 1 and pattern 2, Christmas Stockings 1 and Christmas Stockings 2, come with variations on how to do the snowflakes, like where to put them. And also, so this yarn, it was written for a slightly thicker yarn than what I'm using. So it, my needle gauge, my gauge is a little off. It's off by 1 stitch. So like a half stitch an inch. So it's, the gauge is written for 2 inches because that's what I did then. I didn't do 4-inch gauges. And yeah, so I ended up doing a few more rows. The other thing is the pattern is written by row count instead of inches, but you can easily translate it back to inches because I think it's like based on a 3 stitches per inch gauge, which is pretty big. So this I was getting more like 3.5 stitches per inch. So I just added in a few more rows. And I also, the thing that I think I would have, like, I think if you're using the right weight yarn, these would be a little more spaced out than they're looking on here. I would have just put maybe another row between them, between these snowflakes, if I were gonna do this again with Loopy Mango yarn, which this yarn is really great. It's so soft. It's really, I hope it doesn't pill. That's my only worry, that because there are like little fuzzies, see, that were in the yarn. This is their, let me tell you everything because we're not going to see this again. It's this one. It's called Dream. It's their weight called Dream. I'll have all the information in the description box as well. And this pink isn't, the yarn is made in Italy, but I think it's dyed here when the ladies that own Loopy Mango get it. I think they do the dyeing. This pink was hand dyed, where most of their ones that come like this is commercially dyed and made in Italy. Yeah. So the other thing I want to tell you, if you want to do this, I've just started on my second skein. So this is just a 2 skein project, and this yarn retails for about $12 a skein. So it's like for $24 you get this really, and a little, and you know, trust me, this is basically all the evening. You saw what I made up at 4 o'clock. So I did all of this after I had eaten dinner and done other little things around the house. So you can see for $24 and a few hours you can have a beautiful handmade stocking with you know, for your family. So it's pretty easy. You still have time to make some now. If you have the yarn, I guess. So yeah, and I got these on sale. I think I paid $10 a skein for them instead of $12. But yeah, shop around. Maybe your local has them, your local yarn shop, if you're interested. Now the letters. So this is the first time on this pattern that I've used the letters. So the history of the letters is that I did not plan to put names on any of our stockings. So none of our stockings that we have downstairs have names on them. We put tags down. We write out hand tags, and then that way everyone can have a different design. You're not locked into something, because kids, as they evolve, they want different things. So we wanted to have maximum flexibility with who had what stocking. So that's why we did that. That worked for our family. But if you want to do, so I had a customer, I had someone who had bought the pattern. She basically begged me to write the letters, to graph the letters for her the way that I would do them. So I did. I graphed the letters, and then I added that to the patterns. So both patterns have a chart of letters. What's not in the pattern is how to place the letters and where to place them. So you can really put them anywhere you want. You could do, instead of doing something like this, like the diagonal, like say if I wanted to do Juliana's whole name, I would probably do it diagonally, maybe under the snowflakes, or, you know, work it in some other way, because you could stagger them the same way the snowflakes are staggered, so that you could fit them all in. Otherwise, I don't think, if you want to do it across the top, maybe you could squeeze in 5 letters, but you're really just looking at 4. And for this child, the 4 worked, so it's good. Yeah, so that's the story with this. I will finish this today, and I'm going to show you. I'll check in with you from time to time to show it to you. So happy with it. It's so pretty. What I will be doing a couple other embellishments. I'm gonna put little pom-poms, I have tiny little commercially made pom-poms that are like that big, like the size of a marble. So that I'm gonna put those there. I think I'm gonna put red. That's my plan. If I had gold glitter, I would. I think I only have silver glitter though. And then I'll also be making some like ribbons, crochet ribbons that'll come off the top because it'll hang like this. Hang like this. Oh my god, isn't it so great? But I'm kind of excited to make more of these, which is good because I did tell my son and daughter-in-law that I would make them their own as well, but I didn't. I said I probably wouldn't get to it this year. I'll see. I have so many other things I need to do, so I will definitely be remembering this though for next year, and maybe like next fall I can start working on their stocking. I mean, it takes like 1 evening, 2 evenings maybe at tops. Oh, and this is how I picture Juliana's Christmas morning. This is the idea, right? Oh my god, it's so cute. So cute. And then maybe I'll have some babies and an egg or two that'll fit in down here. I mean, I have other things for her too, and I'm sure her parents do, but that's how I pictured it. And I know she's just 2 months, but still. Okay. That's that. Hope you enjoyed that. Oh my goodness, it's so fun. So fun. Talking about my advents. Oh, I'm a mess today. So this is the first fiber bit for the third skein I'll be spinning. I am planning to finish that spin probably by tomorrow. I'll finish the second skein so I can start on the third skein. Yeah, so what do you think? I think it's going to purple, right? Because the last one was pretty much like this color. Cool, right? I'm going to be making sourdough bread this weekend. So I took my sourdough starter out of the fridge to feed it. And it is up here up in my suite of rooms in a proofer. So I keep a proofer, which is great, especially on a windy day like today when the house might be a tiny bit drafty. This is a very well built house, and it's pretty sealed pretty tight, but there are, drafty spots here and there. So yeah, anyway, I have so I'll be doing that. You'll see me if I film it all the time. If I film every time, you feed the starter twice a day for 2 days, and then you can bake the bread. So, and then you start the whole process of making the dough and everything. So I'll talk to you more about that in the coming days. I am planning to bake bread on Sunday, but it may end up being Monday. It just depends on my children. Because I am hoping to get into the city to do a drop-off for my son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter, who we're doing a contactless drop-off of their stuff. So I'm hoping to see them from afar, maybe like a little social distancing in the park or something, because they live right by Central Park. So something like that might be nice. We'll see if it works out. But yeah, so that's the plan. And then my other 2 boys are coming on Sunday night. So I'm hoping to have the bread done before they get here. And if I get the bread done before I see my older son, I'll bring them a loaf. And then I can just make more when the other boys are here, if they eat it all. Because we all love sourdough. All right, see you later.